boys and girls, welcome back to another video. I'm here with Tom Horvath. We're at CSI headquarters. What we want to talk about today is, how would you clarify it?
Easy cleanup.
Easy cleanup. Why? Okay, just the word easy. I think most people will embrace the word easy, especially if you spend any length of time behind a buffer trying to do paint correction. There's so much, at least in my world. Yes, the payoff is significant, but there's a lot of anxiety and fear, especially if you're a beginner. So easy cleanup. Easy. What does that mean?
One of the biggest things, and it was always so satisfying to be buffing a car, always, until you start to get into the business side of this and go, there is no money in this. There, as satisfying as this is for the employees, as a body shop owner, there is no, don't spend too much time here.
Right.
Because you have so many hurdles. One being, it takes a lot of time to, produce the perfect finish, or at least it did, until we came out with this single product system. But the other side is the cleanup. Yes. And that is not addressed enough. So when we go into a body shop and I ask them, do you have a swirl mark problem? Some people say no. I say, baloney, you have a swirl mark problem. Don't tell me you don't have a swirl mark problem. Everybody in the auto body industry has it, and it doesn't necessarily mean their guys didn't do their job right. They didn't spend enough time.
Right.
So then they have a swirl mark problem. So once you get, you're trying to relate with these body shop guys. I'm a body shop owner. Don't tell me you don't have swirl marks.
Yeah.
So then I go, okay. So since you have a perfect shop, you don't have swirl, you have hard cleanup, getting compound trapped inside of the door jump. Well, okay. So now I do have a relatable subject with them.
Yeah.
And when you do a time study on the actual color sanding, polishing, and cleanup, which one takes the longest amount of time? And that is cleanup.
Really?
Nobody gets paid anything for that.
Yeah, in my world, no one's ever quantified that.
Yeah,
I just know through first-hand experience, the cleanup, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like, it can be
nasty.
horrid.
Yeah. And
never mind the cleanup that you can avoid, but that's what's cool about this product, is that you can avoid a big headache, which is, when you, especially with the rotary, because rotary and dual actions, they will leave different types of messes.
Oh yeah.
So rotary will sling more, it'll produce more lint, that kind of stuff, versus a DA. And a rotary will cram polish or a compound, if you're using a compound, into seams way more than a dual action.
Oh yeah.
And now you've got to clean that up.
Yep.
So how does your product solve that?
When, again, when I moved from being in the body shop business to analyzing the problem, one, I want to be relatable to body shop owners too. Yeah. What is happening here? Why does this stuff dry, the old-fashioned compound, why does it dry so hard inside the front edge of a jam where I can't get my hands that I have to take a wooden sharpened paint stick and chisel it out?
Yes.
It's so,
exactly.
And normally it messes up the paint because it's called plasticizing. It's exactly what happens to a concrete floor. When it's powder, you mix it with water, and it turns into a rock. That's what happens to old-fashioned compound. It's liquid that is basically a powder, and then when it dries, it's called plasticizing, where the two become one, and it sticks like glue to the substrate, the paint, normally wet paint. Because inside the jam on a new painted car, it's not fully cured yet, and that stuff just goes off. So when I sat down with the chemist and said, okay, these are my problems. He doesn't know. He's a chemist.
Yeah.
He doesn't know my problems. But I'm like, you have to show me how to fix this. And we would go back and forth, and he compared it to a lot of the facial products that women use for skin creams and things like that. Well, they don't plasticize. Why don't they plasticize? Why don't they dry hard as a rock on somebody's face?
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't like that.
Probably not.
Yeah. So we took that same chemistry and started to work into this side of, not that you should put this on your face ever. This is not facial product, but it does have the attributes of really good emulsions. So one of those things would be a special surfactant, which is just a fancy term for soap that helps to combine all the different components inside of our product to help it stick together. And the cool thing that we found is that because of the soap that's in there, surfactant, is that the cleanup was really, really easy. The moment that you take our product and dry it, leave it sit out for an hour or 2 hours, 5 hours, you touch it with water, it turns into slick soap.
Wow.
So it just falls off the surface.
Because I've experienced that firsthand, and that's part of that video I just shot with Sean. It's like, hey, by the way, in case you get, I don't know what the term is in your world, and there doesn't seem to be any official term in my world, but you'll be buffing and you'll get some caking up in certain areas because you've either used too much polish, you didn't work it to manage the
surface
polish.
Is hot.
Yeah. So, but it's like, Sean, if you ever run into that problem, which you probably will, just take some water or take a wet cloth, and guess what? It cleans up so well.
Yeah.
So, and whether it's in seams, directly on the surface, it cleans up so nicely with water. And guess what's probably the most available solvent in the world? Water. I don't care where you're working at, someone's house, your own house, you have access to water. So that's one of the cool attributes of this is easy cleanup. So it's not going to dry what I call cement hard, rock hard, those seams. You can just take a wet microfiber if you want. You can spray it directly with water and it's going to clean right up. Okay, cool. So that's our short little video. Yet again, one of the many winning attributes of this product line. You know what? How about this question for you guys? I want to hear some horror stories of where you have polished a car, compounded a car, call it what you want, and you got some compound in an area that you couldn't get to, or you had to find some kind of scraper in order to get it off, or you had to come in after someone else has compounded a car, and now you're required as a detailer to clean up their mess that they couldn't, and that is miserable, because I've been in that situation many times where it's like, wow, who's the last detailer that got this car, because they left compound everywhere and it is rock hard. So if you guys are willing to share those stories, I would love to hear about them. Until next time, any of these products, by the way, csishine.com, clearcoatsolutions.com, you can get them direct, and we'll see you on the very next video.